Hello students, good day to all. Welcome to this lecture. In this lecture, we are going to see the derivation of Bayes-Sawatla and the Ampere's law from the magnetic vector potential. Why we are putting this video is, since we have been asked this particular derivation in the 2 to 3 papers of the previous university examinations. This derivation has been asked repeatedly. So, by keeping that thing in our mind, we have prepared to do this derivation for the sake of completeness in our classes. So we have seen already that what is the magnetic vector potential, how we have been derived. So what is the concept of this particular magnetic potential, and all been visited already. We have taken that classes in our live classes. So if you have any doubts along of that particular material, you can refer to the live video which has been posted in our in my YouTube channel itself, so you can refer to that particular material. Also, we have uploaded this particular PDF file in our Google Classroom. We can also view that particular file. Also, we have given the derivation of this particular magnetic vector potential, and you might have keep in mind, so you might have aware that the vector potential, the potential is going to be the scalar. That is going to be being case that for any fields there will be a scalar potential for that particular field if that field doesn't have any curl. That is, the curl of that particular field is going to be absent, the scalar potential will be available. So by that way we will be having the scalar potential of this magnetic field, since we are having some part of the magnetic field will be having the current as 0, so that at that particular points we will be having the vector potential, vector scalar potential, but in the many cases we will be having the magnetic field have the curl, so that we will be having the magnetic vector potential as the whole, that is a substitute for the values of magnetic field and the magnetic flux, the intensity or the magnetic flux values. So in any of the practical considerations, if we don't have the values of the absolute magnetic field or the magnetic flux values or magnetic field intensity or the magnetic flux intensity, we can measure the magnetic vector potential or the magnetic scalar potential of that field, so that we can calculate any of the outcomes of that particular magnetic flux. So that is the use of the Laplace and the Poisson's equation in electrostatics. Also in the magnetostatics also, the Laplace and the Poisson's equation can be used for that purpose only. So that has been already mentioned in our videos, so you have to keep that things in our mind. So by keeping those points in our mind, we can go for the derivations. Derivation of the Bayes-Sawatla and the Ampere's law from the magnetic vector potential. So that this is going to be the magnetic vector potentials equation, that is the integration of mu naught I into dl dash divided by 4 pi rho. This dl dash is going to represent the line segment of the current which is flowing in the conductor. So this dl dash will be having the the coordinates of x dash, y dash, z dash, and the p point which is going to be represented is going to be with the coordinates of x, y, and z, since we are having that particular here. So this p point will be having x comma y comma z, and this dl dash will be having x dash comma y dash comma z dash. So by keeping that in the mind, we will be having the magnetic vector potential as this. So the B vector can be represented as del cross A. So you can represent this particular equation in the place of this A. So del cross the line integration of mu naught I dl dash divided by 4 pi r. So you can represent this particular cross product inside the integration itself. So you will be having mu naught I divided by 4 pi integration of del cross 1 by r to dl dash. So you might know that the vector identity of del cross f into a vector is equal to f into del cross a plus del f into del f cross a vector. So this is the vector identity which we have used in many of the derivations we have seen. So you can write this particular f as an as 1 by r, and a vector as dl dash. So you can write the b vector as equal to mu naught I divided by 4 pi. The line integration of this particular thing is going to be replaced with the help of this particular vector identity. So you can write this 1 by r as f. So 1 by r del cross instead of a you will be having dl dash. So you can write del cross dl dash plus this del into, for f you will be having 1 by r, so you will be having del of 1 by r in cross dl dash. So we know that from the previous videos of the magnetic vector potential, we have come across with this particular terms, that is this del of 1 by r can be represented by ar cap divided by r square, r vector divided by r cube. So that has been already, it has been proved in the previous video itself or previous notes itself. So you can refer to this particular notes so that we will be getting this particular identity, that del of 1 by r is equal to minus ar vector divided by r square, ar cap divided by r square. So we know this in the previous videos and the previous notes itself, so we have taken it as such. Since dl dash is a function of x dash comma y dash comma z dash, this del cross dl dash is going to be 0. So how we are getting this particular one is, this del is going to be represented by dou by dou x plus dou by dou y plus dou by dou z. This dl dash is going to be represented by x dash, y dash and z dash. Since these two are going to be represented in the Cartesian coordinate system itself, these two cannot be an orthogonal systems. So if you take curl of these two Cartesian coordinate systems, you will be having the curl of those two systems will be 0. So we can represent this particular term as 0. So you will be having remaining of del of 1 by r cross dl vector. So that is going to be represented by 1 by that is del of 1 by r can be represented by minus ar cap divided by r square. So you can write from this equation b vector is equal to mu naught I divided by 4 pi integration of L into dl cross ar cap divided by r square. So this is the Biot-Savart law which we need to derive. So we have finished the derivation of the Biot-Savart law. We are going to proceed with the derivation of the Ampere's law. So here you can notice that vector identity of del cross A is equal to del of del dot A. So here this del as an gradient. So del into del dot A vector minus del square A vector. So this is also a known vector identity to us. So you have proof of the videos in our playlist, so you can refer to that particular video. So we know that the B vector is equal to del cross A vector, and A dot A vector, that is del dot A vector is equal to 0. So you can represent this particular equation as del cross A is equal to minus del square A. Since this term is going to be 0 due to the del dot A is going to be taken as 0. So how this particular term has came is been explained in our video itself. So I can have this particular explanation now also, that is the magnetic vector potential is going to be taken, the divergence of the magnetic vector potential is going to be taken as 0. So for some special cases of magnetostatics, so if you want to take the magnetic field as an time invariant, so we will be taking the magnetic vector potential as a time independent. So if that magnetic vector potential is going to be time independent, then del dot A vector is equal to 0. We have explained this in our video itself, so you can refer to that video also for the explanation why we are taking this del dot A vector as 0. So we can have that del cross A is equal to minus del square A. So you can take this del cross A as B vector, since we have mentioned in this video itself. So del cross A can be taken as B vector. So del cross B is equal to minus del square A. So you can represent this B vector as equal to mu naught H. So you can put this minus sign here. So minus mu naught del cross H is equal to del square A. You can represent this del cross H is equal to minus 1 by mu naught into del square A vector. So from this, as we know del cross H is equal to J vector, we can take this particular term as minus 1 by mu naught into del square A is equal to J vector, which is also equal to del cross H vector. So you can write this particular equation as, if you take the surface integration on the both sides of this particular equation, then you can take the surface integration as del cross H into the ds vector, which is equal to the surface integration of J dot ds vector. So from this Stokes theorem, we can prove that del cross H vector is equal to into ds is equal to H dot dl vector. So this is a statement of this Stokes theorem. So from this Stokes theorem, we can come with the line integration of H dot dl is equal to the surface integration of del cross H into ds vector. So you can write this as H dot dl is equal to integration of J dot ds from this equation. So these two are going to be equal in naturally. So you can say the H dot dl is equal to J dot ds. This can be represented as I vector. So this is the Ampere's law. So this is going to be the important equation. So you can make note of this particular derivation. Thank you.